Hey YouTube, welcome back to Live Long and Freeze Dry. One of the things that you have to do before you can freeze dry something is prepare it. And I have been lacking in giving you guys any recipe stuff to deal with, to work with, to make something that your family will enjoy eating now, and then freeze dry the leftovers and they can enjoy it another time. Or if you have a recipe that you really like and you go out and you buy, like today, I've got a bunch of chicken and I'm going to do a chicken recipe, and we'll put it all together and then we will go ahead and prepare it. Some will be for dinner tonight and the rest will be going into the freeze dryer. So what I've got here is a couple of chicken breasts. We're going to start by chunking it up, getting it into bite-sized pieces. Becky's got braces and so bite-sized works better for her. Chunk all of this up, and some of this can be used for pot pie filling, and what we had last night and what I'm fixing today is, like I said, pot pie filling, but served over a bed of mashed potatoes. So it was really good, and I thought I'd share that with you. And I did want to make some extra so that I could get it into the freeze dryer. So there, we've got a couple of chicken breasts chunked up and ready to go. I'm going to transfer them to a bowl. Okay, the first step that I take when I'm preparing this is I'm going to do something we call velveting the meat. I think I'd mentioned it in another video, and here's how you do it. In this jar is some baking soda, and here I've got some of we call it house seasoning. It's 4 parts salt to 2 parts pepper, or I guess it would be 2 to 1 to 1. 2 parts salt, 1 part pepper, and 1 part garlic powder. Just mix it all up and keep that, and we just use it on everything. Season the meat up real quick, and then sprinkle some baking powder over the top of the meat. It doesn't take a whole lot because you're going to let this sit for a while. Spatula here and just mix it all up real good, get everything covered, and then we are going to set this in the refrigerator and let it, for lack of a better term, marinate. The baking soda is going to break down the fibers in the meat and make it wicked tender. The other ingredients that you need for this recipe are the mashed potatoes. These are freeze-dried russets that I made a couple of weeks ago. A couple of cups of frozen mixed vegetables, some olive oil for starting the meat, and then a can of condensed mushroom soup. You can use water to thin out the soup. Alrighty, so we've let the chicken sit in the velveting process in the fridge for about looks like an hour or so. Next thing we're going to get started on putting this together. I think I'm going to call it upside down shepherd's pie because the potatoes are on the bottom and everything else is on the top. So we got our pan heating up. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil here. So I've got a silicone brush, spread it around here. we'll add our chicken. I got this large cast iron pot, Dutch oven, whatever you want to call it, from my daughter-in-law down in, or my daughter and son-in-law down in Lake Jackson. And, they had just got a bunch of new pots and pans, and for some reason they were going to donate this lodge to somebody, and I turned on the old charm, and next thing you know, I got to get it. So while this is browning, I'm going to get a couple of cups of water and put it in the microwave and get it hot for the potatoes. Get about 2 cups of water. Put it on for about 4 minutes, 4.5. This goes pretty quick. Basically, you just want to sear the chicken, maybe brown it a little bit. I like more of just the sear on it for this. It just makes for a better looking presentation as far as I'm concerned. It will cook. It will cook through when we put the mushroom soup and the vegetables and the broth in, and then we turn it down to simmer. I have a bunch more of the chicken breast still in the velveting process right now that I'm going to make a pot of chicken soup for the weekend. It's supposed to get down pretty cold. I think the high on Sunday is only supposed to be 40. And so we'll have that. And the chicken's already been seasoned. We did the house seasoning on it. The garlic powder, salt and pepper. But I'm definitely going to add more seasoning to it after I put the soup mix and the chicken broth and the vegetables in. Like I said, this is one of those meals that once you've made it, you're going to think, wow, this is like crazy. It only took 15 minutes to put it together after the chicken was velveted, but really, really nice. Okay, so we got 1 can of mushroom soup. This is just the Walmart brand, but I don't really see that there's a difference between the Walmart brand and the regular brand. And I'm going to take, I'm only going to do about a half a cup of broth, or half a can of broth. Make sure I get all the goodness out of there. Try to use as little oil as possible, because when this does go into the freeze dryer, fats do not freeze dry well. The more fat in it, the shorter the shelf life is of the product for some reason. So you want to keep that in mind if you are preparing this as a meal that you're going to freeze dry and put away for future use. Alright, so we've got that. Now I'm going to add the 2 cups of the frozen vegetables. mix that in. We're going to reduce our heat to low. Now you see the consistency there. It's like a gravy. That's what you want. I think the stuff that I made last night was a little soupier than this. So I want to do this one a little bit more body to the gravy. Add a little more of the house seasoning. Slap the lid on that. We got another 30 seconds on the water for the mashed potatoes. So leave it on low. Go ahead and smack the lid on it and let it continue to cook. Reposition one of the cameras here. The second part of the process is the mashed potatoes. Now again, these are russets that I went ahead and cooked, put on freeze drying trays, and put them through the freeze drying process. And we just add some here. And you can use store-bought. I've used store-bought, but had this available last night. Decided to use it and was not disappointed. All right, we've got our hot water. And we just add a little bit there. When you get the bagged mashed instant potatoes from the store, it's going to tell you exactly how much water you need for the package. Follow that exactly. When you freeze dry your own, you can take the time to weigh the tray before you put it in the freeze dryer, and then run through the process, pull it out, weigh it again, see how much weight you lost, see how much, if it was, if you had half a pound, it's actually probably be a lot less than that, but you can figure out, okay, it took out X amount of water, so for every half cup of the freeze-dried potatoes, you add the proper amount to the freeze-dried product, and you'll come back perfect again. This will thicken up a little bit more. If it doesn't, I just shake a little bit more out of the jar into there and let it set up and get to where consistency that I wanted. That is a little thin. Shake in a little more. Now, when I did those russets, I seasoned a lot of them before I freeze dried them. So this is really smelling good. So that's more like it. We'll let that sit there. We're going to let this simmer, and here in about a half an hour I'm going to dish them up and have a little bit for lunch before I let it cool and transfer it to the freeze drying trays. So our chicken has simmered with the vegetables and the mushroom soup mix, and mashed potatoes are done. Now it's time to serve it up here. A little scoop of mashed. Now for the good stuff. Let's get you a good peek at what this stuff looks like. Not just amazing. I need need more hands. You can see the steam coming off of that. Nice thick gravy. So grab a little bit there. Add it to my mashed. And now the moment of truth. Unbelievable. I don't know if you can see, but just that chicken, just tender as can be. Really, really good. Really suggest you check this out. Go through the velveting process with your chicken, and then fix it like I showed you with the mushroom soup, the frozen vegetables, chicken broth, or you can use water. Let it cook. Serve it over the mashed. You won't be disappointed. Now I'm going to let this stuff cool off, and it is eventually going to go onto the freeze-dry trays. And when I do it, I will do it in two sections. The mashed potatoes will be on one side of the tray. The chicken and vegetables and gravy will be on the other side of the tray. And then when I go ahead and package them up, I'll put the mashed potatoes into the Mylar bag first, and then I will take it to my heat sealer and seal it off just above the mashed potatoes. Then I will take the other part and fill the bag the rest of the way, and then close it and seal it. That way, when I do go to reconstitute it and have it as a meal, I'm not just getting a big slurry of mashed potatoes, and that it's actually going to be two parts. I'll have my mashed potatoes on the bottom, and then I'll add my chicken and vegetables and gravy to the top. Hope you've enjoyed the process. Hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you try it out and you like it, let me know in the comments. Please, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Yeah, it helped me out a lot. Leave you with that. Live long and freeze dry. I'm going to finish my lunch.